Hi everyone, it's Adrian Leah. I mainly wanted to show yarn that I got a little while ago. Some of it is birthday yarn. I did get some yarn when I was running errands and I ended up seeing yarn. So it's not too much, but I also have projects that I'll show in this video. Um, I'm gonna redo one of them and I'll start showing some things. So I'm knitting more socks because, well, I found needles that I like for sock knitting, but there is the other reason, and I don't know where some of my socks are. I have lost a couple of socks. I lose one of the socks for a pair, and I still haven't found them, so I'm going to knit some more, which was um, kind of the incentive of it too. I do like how knitting is practical. So I do have the contrast color and it's here. So I'll have leftover to make another pair, but I I won't get to that for a while, so it'll probably be in my stash for some time until I feel that I'll knit another pair using this colorway, and it's the Cape May Fibers yarn. Cape May Fiber Co. Sorry. In the colorway Day at the Beach, I really love her interpretations of her beachy ocean colorways because I feel like you could go a lot of different directions with that for different yarn and even forest colors. But I feel like with her yarn it does feel a little nostalgic because that's how I would see the ocean because I grew up in the Northeast. So, and depending on where you see oceans, you'll see it differently. Um, so I grew up in this area and then I grew up in another area in Northeast. So I really love this one. And so sorry. I did talk about this yarn in another video. So it's one of those mini skeins or mini hanks, and it's in the colorway bubbly. I really love the soft yellow of it. I actually cast it on the second sock, so I'm doing the ribbing. So for the needles, these are the Haya wooden needles, and it's in it's a US 1 size, and this is the Knitter's Pride Ginger Shorties. It's a US 1. My favorite needle at the moment is actually US 2.5. I got the needle for the needle tips for the test knit, and for the test knit, have shown I have shown it in other videos, and I do have a video log that I'll put more clips in using my phone, but I am not working on it at the moment. I have a month to do it. I started it around mid-October, and I need to finish it around mid-November. So I'm waiting for the yarn to arrive. It should be here by Tuesday. I'm hoping it gets here on Monday. I have some yarn left for it, but I want to blend the different dye lots together so you don't get the clear separation of the color from the dye lots. Um, so I'm hoping it arrives earlier. It's technically Sunday right now, so I'll see for tomorrow. I was lucky to see the mail person today because my godmother told me that there's food upstairs for me, and it's not like a formal meal. I She has food out, and then I come up and eat it. And so sometimes I take a little bit to go upstairs, but I got there, and soon after, the post person was knocking on the door for my Ukrainian package, and she knocked a couple times, and then she was like walking away. And I'm like, wait, don't go. And I was able to say that I'm here. I think it's been more of a thing for me to for the post office to get kind of like wondering if I live there, since my last name is different from my godmother's last name. So, but it could also be with different post people too, because sometimes, like with international packages, they just leave it there. And that includes some of the Ukrainian packages that I've gotten, and I've gotten quite a few. And then there are other times where maybe they want like a signature, and it's not um it's sometimes for international packages from different countries. So it might be the way that it's put into the system. I'm not sure, but I got the package. I have it in here. I took off my information. So there are a couple of skeins in here, and I'm so excited because I'll read the description on that it has for the yarn. So I got three of these, and they're 7 ounces. That's almost 200 grams of this. Looks like the natural color, and that's like amazing because that's so inexpensive, and I love this type of yarn so much. So three of these, and then I got 100 grams, around 100 grams of the blue colorway. So there's a navy blue, and then there's this blue, and I'll read it on the website. So made in Ukraine, full yarn. The seller is Duxlessa Traders, and there's the different, well, you can't see that. Oh, there's different handles for them. So I'll read what it says on the website, but I really wanted to make a full garment using just this yarn and not mixing them with other yarns. I usually do that and I don't mind it, but I really wanted to see what it would be with using the yarn from the same brand. So it's full. I feel like I'll have a lot left to do other things and maybe use the cream or natural color for a yoke, for the yoke of another garment. But I was also thinking maybe I could do one of the traditional Norwegian sweaters. I haven't decided, but I really wanted to save this for like a pattern from a Ukrainian knitwear designer, Teti Letsak. Teti's Knit Garden. She has um, different patterns that call for different weights of yarn. The ones that I have been enjoying are the ones that are that call for like the US 2.5 needles, needle tips. And it's nice to have like an assortment of yarn. So I was thinking maybe I could get other colors from colorways from this seller and I would have it ready because the test knit, I love the colors that I chose. One of the colorways, I remember buying it because it was the only one left. I called a couple of shops in this area to see if they had it. Some of them don't have that brand, and if they buy from that brand, they have to get like 10 of something. So they don't usually do that unless that's what you're looking for. And the ones that did have the brand, they didn't have the colorway available. So I was looking at the different websites that sold the yarn and the colorway that I was looking for. And I did end up getting free shipping, so I'm not complaining about the shipping. And I'm really happy that they offer that. Um, Sometimes they see that they're just like, clearly this person didn't prepare for this project, or this person um um really went into this project and knowing that they didn't have enough yarn for it, me, but I just love the color combination. I just think that they go so well together. So I was like, this is what I'm gonna do. And it's probably the test knit will be cropped in different ways, and I'll make those specifications. I would say for the test knits that I've done, this is my first test knit for this knitwear designer, but for some other knitwear designers, it like varies on what they like, the deadline, and what they mainly want you to test, because there is the customization that goes along with it too, that you can follow the pattern, but if you're gonna follow it completely and not wear it, then that's kind of like, I feel like you want to wear your knitwear and just be so happy to have it. And so, well, I'm talking for myself. So that's the main reason why I would want to customize that part. But um, I feel like one of the important parts to test it, and again, this could be different across the board, that they want you to make sure everything is correct, but like the yoke is something that some knitwear designers have specified that they mainly wanted you to see if it was correct, and then that was it for the test knit. So I really want to save this for another Teti garment, and I'll have a lot left. I'm gonna read it on the website, or I got it off of Etsy. I also got DPNs. So before I read it, sorry, I'm so sorry. I just want to show it. So it's in my needle case, and it's been pretty fun. Just, of course, it's to my liking of the different tools that I have in here. But I've been putting more DPNs in here just because, well, as of today, just because I have the Knitter's Pride DPNs, this the set, but it's in storage. I've been saying that a lot, that it's in storage and that I haven't gotten to my storage unit in a while. Um, so I'm gonna take them out, but these are the DPNs that I also got. They're handmade, and I'm excited to use them. I do enjoy the length of them. I might have to put them back after the video or pause it, but I'll just show the length of them. I do like this length too. They're also handmade from a different seller, like a farm that was local to me when before I moved back here. Now I'm in this area. So there is a bit of a difference here. So I'm not sure what wood this is. This is bamboo, which a lot of the wooden needles tend to be, but there's rosewood, olive wood that I've seen. I will eventually get a 2.5. I do like knitting sleeves using DPNs at some point. Like I start off with knitting in the round, and then once I start decreasing, I like to go to DPNs. So right now, I mainly have the size US 10 and the US 15 in here. The US 15 is for a specific pattern that I enjoy because it's such a quick knit, but I had to be careful for it because it's the OK sweater from the Lopi book. It's one of the volumes, and it's one, well, of course, you want to check your gauge and see how it knits up. You're also making sure that it's not going to be too weighed down because it's a bulky sweater, but you can knit it in a day. And um, it's like one of the main plain sweaters that I don't mind knitting because it's such a fast knit. I might gift one of them that I did knit up because I held it double with Berka worsted in like the denim colorway, and it was pretty heavy for it. I think the fit, because it's such a bulky knit, um, it affected that too. So I feel like um, it's a nice sweater. I might put it in my gift knits drawer where I set aside some knits that I have prepared for when the time comes and I would just gift it. I would say it's more of like a men's sweater, the one that I knit at least, for the fit of it, like in the for the yoke. And so that's kind of what I'm thinking. But it's fun, and that's what the size 15s are because it's a big needle size. These are a size that it was ranging from 5 to 6. This is lightweight. I'm curious about the wood. It's very soft. It doesn't feel treated, but it might be. I'm not sure. But I really love the length of them, and I feel like I could definitely use them for knitting sleeves and other things, whatever I would need them for. So they're really they're really soft. I'm not sure. And then I'll read what it says. So it was 877 for 7 ounces. Ukrainian wool yarn, cruelty-free yarn, pasture-raised sheep wool, warm knitting wool, carded yarn, pasture-raised sheep wool. So there's the 7 ounce ones, and then there's the it's like 4 ounces. I'd have to see what it says for the other one, or I have it actually. That's 100 grams. It says 100 grams. So it is around 4 ounces. But it should be. It's 3.5. So Sorry, I just had it and then I lost it. Mm. Oh my god, I literally just had it. Oh, it's literally the first one. Okay. So for the 7 ounce ones, this is the white one. Then there's like a dark blue, which I would like to get, a dark gray, and red. I feel like I haven't. I like wearing gray um, too, but I think I'm gonna get probably the dark blue and the red. I am interested in the red, so hmm, it's just such a good deal. All right. Okay, ready to knit your dreams into reality? Dive into our Ukrainian wool yarn collection today and let the knitting adventures begin. This yarn comes from Ukrainian farms who raise sheep for milk and yarn. These pasture-raised sheep are raised in open fields, enjoying the freedom to roam, graze, and forage as nature intended. As a result, we have high-quality and natural wool yarn. We call our yarn cruelty-free as shearing sheep is actually necessary because if its wool continues to grow and if left unshorn, it can become too long and dense, leading to issues like overheating, difficulty moving, and even infections. Shearing helps maintain the health and hygiene of the sheep by preventing these problems. We would say that these sheep live a pretty good life. The wool fibers in this yarn maintain untreated. This preserves the inherent qualities of the fiber, enhancing its natural properties while also ensuring superior shape and texture. It has high durability, making it perfect for cozy sweaters, scarves, and more. We personally use the yarn to knit wonderful socks that you can find in our store. Natural wool has a lot of healthful properties that make it a top choice for all seasons. First and foremost, wool excels at temperatures regulation, ensuring cozy warmth in winter and refreshing coolness during hot weather. It's our all-weather ally year-round. Moreover, despite its remarkable ability to absorb a third of its weight in water, wool ingeniously wicks moisture away from your skin, keeping you dry and comfortable. Additionally, its unique structure prevents odor buildup, making it a go-to for intense activities, plus it's hypoallergenic, ensuring comfort for all. So I would say for this yarn, it's not rough. I don't think it's rough, but I do like, as I said, I like woolly wools. So it's not, I'm not going to shy away from like woolier yarns, but I would say this is like a softer yarn to keep that in mind. There are other colors too. Let me show. So for this one, there are other colors, if you can see that. And then I'll show the other one. The smaller one, gray, purple, light blue, teal. Then black and white for the 100 grams as well. And the 7 ounce one is this picture. over here. That's the one I got at the bottom. And so it's a great deal for this much yarn. So I'm super happy with it. Um, I might change my address on my ID just so maybe if I need to pick it up or something, but hopefully I won't. And maybe she'll remember that I'm here because sometimes like they just deliver it. So I don't know if it's subjective or anything. That was like those were like the main things that I got. But I also went to Dollar Tree and I have gotten the cotton yarn. It's the Just Cotton Premier yarn. Premier Just Cotton, but it is 85% cotton, 15% polyester. I knit the Autumn Lark crop sweater with this. I love the way that it knit up. The main thing is I didn't swatch it and wash it. It bled like a motherfucker because I really wanted to wear it on my birthday, and I did. Um, I just wet the ribbing on the body and I set it to dry the night before. And so that's the only section that I wet. I set it on like a laundry bag, so it's like a white, um, I think it's cotton bag that it came with like a laundry basket. So it had a metal exterior. I don't have that at the moment. It's in my storage unit. And when I woke up, I took the garment off of it, and there's like swatches of blue. So luckily the stuff didn't luckily it didn't stain anything else aside from the laundry bag, but I might just steam it. But for these two, I got the white and then well, this is the cream because there is a white one and I can't really see it. This one I've been really into like different shades of green. So this is the colorway grass and it's just been different because I used to knit like other greens and I haven't knit green in a while. Well, the next one is like an aquatic color, but I've been seeing like other European knitters use different shades I'm what I would think of knitting, like in terms of the colorway. And I feel like it's what your nature looks like too. So whatever the landscape is, there's a lot of inspiration for that, I would say, and of course other things. But it, I feel like I'll maybe make a tarot bag or something that isn't a garment because it was something to keep in mind. I do have the Premier Just Cotton. I got a lot of the moss color one year with the cream. I got a couple of creams. That's what she said. But I wanted to knit the salt burn sweater that I saw um, Julia from the Happy Knitting podcast knit. As soon as I saw hers, like when she was testing it, I was like, I'm gonna knit that. I love it and I love the colors that I chose. But I'm just gonna keep in mind what happens to the yarn. I mean, it might be different for different colorways. A lot of times that's the case too. Um, Reds tend to bleed a lot. So, and other colors might bleed a lot. That was just a random example. I have something that I was thinking get, I would finish sooner rather than later, but since I applied for this test knit, it has been on the back burner just because I'm gonna have to do some more plain knitting for the test knit. And for those who have heard me in other videos, I don't like plain knitting. I don't like just knitting stockinette for eons. I don't, it's not something that I gravitate towards a lot. I would say since being introduced to the yarn store that I have been going to and I sometimes work at, I feel like I see more of an importance for what the owner was saying, predictable knitting, because you're helping people see how much yarn they need, especially if they might be using different yarn than what the yarn calls for or recommends or what they use for what the sample is. And a lot of the times that's what it is. Um, just to gauge what they would need, because you don't want them to just come back and say that you said that that they would need this and then it wasn't enough. And I'll also be teaching some classes too, so I will have to talk about it. I was on the fence because there was this other job and it was for pet pharmaceuticals, and they said they wanted my Sunday, which is fine, but I'll see with that. It um I've read a little bit about their company, so I'll see. But I have this was another test knit, but I only needed to test knit the yoke, and I even modified the yoke too. This will be a gift knit. Most I would say it would be, but I haven't finished the project just because I didn't feel the need to finish it right away. So I'm just gonna do short sleeves because the incentive for the creation, or the incentive for making this pattern for the knitwear designer, so it is Jenna Kostet, and she's a Finnish knitwear designer, and I've tested multiple garments and accessories for her, and I really love test knitting for her. So I knit this using scraps, and the sweater, it's not that she doesn't only knit for her books because she has two volumes, and she said that she was going to have a third book, and other than that, sorry, it's all over the place, but she also knits for or makes patterns for other places too. So this was another place, and it's called the Guilt Sweater. I don't know if she kept that name because sometimes when you test knit, there are different things that change, but this is a pattern that you use scrap yarn with. The pattern called for it to be fully color work. I didn't have that many scraps to do a full-on color work sweater like that. So I just stopped it at the yoke, and that was the main thing because I feel like she knew that some people wouldn't do the whole thing in color work if they're using scraps. And I'm using the black or the anthracite that I have. I have some left. And almost, I say it's almost done. I have like 5 more inches to go on it. Um, so this is from when I last made progress on it, maybe like a week ago. And that's what I added on. So this is a length that is fine for me. But if I want to gift it to somebody that is um, a different height, I feel like it would be good to knit it longer because I'm I'm not tall. So when I crop things, I can crop it pretty significantly and I'm okay with it. This one, it feels more masculine in terms of like the pattern. I could see it being nice to wear too. Um, I feel like mainly for the type of clothing that I make and the type of clothing that I wear in general, it is more, it is different. And I do love the way that it turned out though. Um, I mean, when it's finished, I could wear it and say that I actually like wearing this more than I anticipated. But I feel that this would also be like, just a different style. And again, I do enjoy how it turned out. It was a surprise too. But I love Jenna's patterns and I'm not picky about it and I just get excited too. So I was like, for sure, I'll knit it. I also tested a sock pattern for her. Um, I only made one sock, and I could make another sock of that one too, now that I think about it. But I really liked the way that it turned out. Okay, so something that is also her pattern, and this is me, sorry, it's me. So now this also has my possum yarn in here. And of course, I'm gonna pair it with the yellow. I I also I picked it up like gradually because it's not a rush, but the owner isn't gonna carry this yarn anymore, and I got it from the sale section. I get a lot of yarn that's like either affordable and on the sale in the sale section. But occasionally I get the more expensive yarn. Um, but I went to the yarn store and I felt like it was like meant to be because my schedule felt like it was being kind of changed by the universe a little bit. And so I was kind of going with the flow, and I was leaving the yarn store, and um, that sorry, random thought. Like it reminds me, knit night is on Tuesday, and I feel like I get a lot done when I'm there, so I would like to bring my test knit. Random thought, but I was leaving and I was walking to my car, and the car was next to one of the stores. Um, and so some people were like outside one of the stores, and a person comes up to me and she's like, "Remember when you used to work here?" And I'm like, "Hey," because I used to work with her, and she's like one of the few people that I actually stayed in touch with from that job. And in general, like if I stay in touch with a person, I usually stay in touch with them for like life unless something happens. Um, I would say for the people I've kept in touch with, and for most of the time, I'm usually on good terms with people. I don't know, I don't really interact with a lot of people in general. Sorry, I keep repeating myself. So it was kind of like just a random thing. And of course, the girl talk came up because she's like, "Girl, like, how have you been?" And I'm like, "Let me just catch you up on things." And so that was kind of what it was. And I was happy about it. Um, it was like meant to be because I haven't bumped into anybody else. Not like I go to a lot of places. I mainly go to like cafes or bookstores to knit at. And then other than that, I don't do other things. Um, if I go back to the direction where my storage unit is, I might get some hours at the pharmacy just because I've been super fortunate to have that luxury of doing that, but I haven't gone that direction in a while. Um, so I've had other jobs, and it was the time when I was a barista, and that was it. And then I moved to the Northeast. I moved to New England. Me telling my life story. But it was just exciting. So the last thing I'll show, but when I say girl talk, it's like I feel like everyone kind of gets an idea of what like girl talk is like. So, how are you and this person are doing like together? Or so she's also been doing her thing with those types of the moments in life. I don't know, but um, so I have this. It's a Sariola. I love this knit. I'm literally almost done the yolk. But I wanted to try a different thing with this. It's not that different, but I like to try different techniques when I knit to see what I like. And I'm going to rip it out and redo some of it and see how I liked it. So for color work, I don't mind that much, but again, if it's just stockinette, I feel like I wouldn't. But I love this yarn. This is also sale yarn too, as I mentioned in other videos. So I don't think I'm gonna rip out the whole thing. I think I'm just gonna rip out like maybe up to here and then reknit this part. It's interesting because I'm literally about to be finished the yoke, or not the yoke, the color work for this section. And I would have been just continuing doing the rest of the pattern, but I'm not. It's gonna be something to do. I was hoping to get this finished a lot sooner because I love this yarn. It's the Lore Wool as Story 100% Kent lamb's wool, sourced and produced in England, the Fibre Co. I just love getting sale yarn because I find yarn that I don't think I would have purchased if it wasn't on sale. And then this one is the Performa Series Kiwi fingering weight. There's different weights for this brand as for many brands, but I got the fingering weight. So it's 40% New Zealand Merino, 30% brushtail possum, 30% organic cotton. This is 40 grams, so I do have multiple of these. This is reduced um, a good amount, so I'm not too worried about it. There is a yellow that I was happy that the owner had knit up already because I wasn't sure about that yellow, but it really gives like a folk type of touch to it because it is it's in the best way. It's like a dirty blonde, but it's not, it's like a dirty yellow, if you know what I mean. And so it kind of gives like a different effect. And when I saw it knit up, and the owner said that she loves using this yarn, but she's not going to carry it because it's hard to get. So um, I'm happy that I'm gonna knit with it. I kind of want to knit a garment with it, but it depends on how much yarn I have for the project, because 40 grams isn't a lot for that. I'll see. Okay, that was my video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I think that's it. Um, I might do my, this is random, but I kind of want to do my Slavic tarot decks or my Slavic decks. because that's another category that I've been using a lot. Um, I haven't, I don't do a lot of deck videos these days. I kind of wanted to change the direction of my channel, which is definitely, I I just like doing what I like doing. So I'm happy to make them regardless because it gives me something to look forward to. So hopefully it's something to enjoy. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.